Don't forget. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Coming to you live from Spokane, Washington, where it's almost 60 degrees and partly sunny. I can almost feel spring in the air at this juncture. And we got a ball game today, 1966, June the 3rd to be exact. Detroit at California, the first game of a 4-game set. A lot of 4-game sets here lately. Starting on June 3rd. Two lefties on the mound today. Hank Aguirre will make the start for the Tigers. Marcelino Lopez, who apparently had a little too much coffee his last start, he's on the hill for the Angels. Let's look at the numbers. Aguirre, he split his service between starting and relief this year. 5 starts, 5 relief appearances. 2-2 with a 4.89. 35 innings of work. Lopez, despite the 2-5 record, has pitched well. A 2.89 ERA in 10 starts. 62 1/3 innings. And let's take a look at the chat. Franklin's here. Mike's here. Good afternoon, guys. Franklin's got coffee. About almost 4:30 your time. Well, why not? Hell, when I was a little younger, I used to drink a cup of coffee right before bed. Didn't bother me at all. Now I can't do that. I cut mine off around 3:30. Most of the time. There are exceptions, of course. There are always exceptions. So here are the pitchers. Look at their real life numbers. Not horrible. 382 and 393 in real life. It's certainly, looking at the cards, nothing stellar here. It could be an interesting game. Detroit at 22 and 21, trying to stay over 500. The Angels, one of the great overachievers of this replay so far, at 18 and 27. And let's go ahead and give you that Detroit lineup. It'll be Don Wirt leading off at third base, Jerry Lumpy at second base, Norm Cash in the 3 spot at first base. Al Kaline is in center field once again. Don Demeter will play left. Willie Horton in the lineup today in right. I always enjoy it when Willie's in the lineup. Dick McAuliffe will be at short. Bill Freehan to do the catching. And Aguirre bats ninth. And we're just about ready to go. Here, I've got my coffee, of course. I'm using the Morro Bay mug today. You probably can't see that. I'm not going to tip it back too much because Lopez had enough already. Anyway, there's a Morro Rock is on there. I'll be there. I'm flying down to Morro Bay on May the 10th for a week's vacation. Very much looking forward to it. This has been a rough year so far, so I'm ready for some time away from Spokane. Time at the ocean with all of its healing properties. Okay? At least that's how I feel about the ocean. I just love being at the ocean. Here we go. Hang on, I gotta see what Franklin said. Black silk for Franklin, and greetings, Ben. Welcome. Lopez ready to go to work here, and Don Wirt steps up to the plate into the right-handed batter's box. Wirt at 247. 5 home runs, 14 RBIs. Lopez gets the sign from Rogers, and here we go. It's going to be start the game with a 3-12 lefty. Hard line drive to short, right into the glove of Fregosi. Oh my, he stung that one. But right at the shortstop, and there's one out. Here is Lumpy. Jerry Lumpy hitting 260, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs. Left on left, Lopez delivers a 5-4 to fly to center field X. That's Cardinal, a good outfielder. Jose, a 2-3. Going back on the ball now, and he makes a fine running catch for the out. Eight X, 2 away, and here's Norm Cash. Franklin, of course it is. 2 down, here's Norm. Cash hitting 261, 8 home runs, 22 RBIs. Lopez into the windup now. There's a 6-6 lefty. Liner to second base, caught by Knopp. So a couple of hard hit balls here in the first, but 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers after a half an inning. It's Detroit 0, California coming to bat against Hank Aguirre. I got to see what Ben wrote here. Starting tomorrow, I have a fun restricted diet I need to follow. Oh, right. Yes, been there, done that. I've had at least 3 of them. It's the prep that's the worst. The actual procedure is nothing. And there's Buddy Budman. First time in the chat, buddy. Thank you very much. Great to have you. It's a great group of guys in this chat. Feel free to jump right in there. And hello to Bob Merrow as well. As Aguirre gets ready to work, let's go ahead and give you the Angels lineup. It'll be Jose Cardinal leading off in center field, Jim Fregosi at shortstop, Rick Reichart in left field, Joe Adcock at first base in the cleanup spot, Bobby Knopp is at second, Jackie Warner back in the lineup in right field. How about that? Paul Shaw is at third, Bob Rogers, the catcher, hits 8th, and Lopez, the pitcher, hits 9th. And the left-handed Aguirre just about ready. Hank Sowar calling the balls and strikes today. Can't resist. Here's Cardinal. He's hitting just 227 so far. He does have 5 home runs, 18 RBIs. Aguirre gets the sign from Freehan. 2-5 left-handed. That's banged into left field. And that will be a single. Just missed the triple. Triple to 2. He rolled the 3, and he'll settle for the long single. Good speed on the bases. Cardinal a star 17 stealer. Aguirre with a -1 hold, and Freehan, of course, with that -4 gun behind the plate. -4 battery would make Cardinal a 13. And early in the game, 13's really on the bubble, isn't it? 1-3, they hold him. They will hold him at 11. And Fregosi will swing away. Fregosi, the leading hitter on the team, at 317. 6 home runs and his 28 RBIs, tied with Rick Reichart for the team lead. Aguirre gets his sign from the stretch. It's a 2-11. That's a base hit into left field. Open single. 17-15. Demeter -1, 14. They're going to send him, and Detroit will cut it off. So a single by Fregosi, Cardinal the third, keeping the double play in order. Fregosi with a -4 battery. He's a star 16 stealer, but not held. He's a 12, so they will not hold him. Infield at double play depth for Rick Reichart. Hello, Steve May. You know, Steve, I did when I was younger. I always pronounced it Aguirre. I forget where I learned. Maybe Baseball Reference, who knows? Or maybe I heard somebody say it. Okay, here's Reichart batting 308. 14 home runs, which leads the American League at the moment, and 28 RBIs. Infield at double play dead. The pitch is a 3-10, and he loses in ball 4, and the Angels have loaded the bases with nobody out in the first inning against Aguirre. And that's going to send Freehan out for a visit already. So Freehan out to the mound. Joe Adcock, the next batter. Adcock, of course, a very fearsome card against left-handers. Okay, the meeting on the mound is broken up by Sowar. Let's check Adcock's stats as he steps in. Just 188, but he does have 4 home runs. Infield at double play depth. The pitch, 6'3" right-handed. It's a high fly ball to deep left field. Going back is Demeter at the track, at the wall. It's gone. Grand slam home run, Joe Adcock. Oh my goodness, how about that? He just did get the 17. And Adcock can touch them all. Cardinal scores, Fregosi scores, Reichart scores. And just like that, it's 4-0 Angels before the seats are even warm. Aguirre gets a new ball. Bobby Knopp will be the hitter. Knopp hitting just .214, 3 home runs, 15 RBIs. The pitch is a 3-8 lefty. He struck him out. Called strike 3. That's the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up Jackie Warner. Warner at .291, 12 home runs, 22 RBIs. Aguirre with the pitch. It's a 1-9 lefty. Struck him out. That home run must have woken up Aguirre. He's fanned Knopp and Warner, and here's Paul Schaal. Schaal hitting .254, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs. Here's the pitch now from the lefty on a 6-8. He walks him. Second walk of the inning, issued by Aguirre. Schaal, no threat to run. And Bob Rogers will be the hitter. A switch hitting catcher, he'll bat right-handed against Aguirre. Rogers at .214, 2 homers, 13 RBIs. Not a complete game, Dan. Sherry came in. I can look at it real quick. Aguirre went 7 scoreless in real life. And Larry Sherry with a 2-inning save. Here's Rogers. Aguirre from the stretch. That's a 6'10 right-handed. Grounder to first base. Cash has it. He goes down to McAuliffe for the force. And that'll do it. Cash ranging to his right. 4 runs, 3 hits, 1 left. And after 1 inning of play, it's 4-0 Angels. Yes, sir, a very different start here. Basically, the difference, Adcock came through. In the real game, Adcock was 1 for 4 with a single. Detroit will send Kaline, Demeter, and Horton to bat here in the second inning against Lopez. Kaline on the season, the leading hitter on the club at .315, 7 home runs, 26 RBIs. Lopez into the windup. That's a 4-8 right-handed, and Kaline promptly bangs one through the middle and into center field for a single. Leadoff single for Kaline. Let's check the battery now for the Angels. Lopez a +3 hold. Balanced out somewhat by Rogers -2 arm, but that's still a +1 battery. Kaline a 14. Not a star stealer. And with a 4-run lead and a 3%, or not 3%, but 3 out of 36, in other words, the roll of a 10, he's automatically out. They're going to go ahead and hold him there, and he's not held on, not to be confusing. Kaline will remain at first, and Demeter will be the hitter. Demeter down to 205 now. 2 homers, 13 RBIs. It seems that Demeter's been in a season-long slump ever since that 2-homer game. Trying to bust out of it now against Lopez. From the stretch, 1-7, grounder to shortstop. That's going to be Fregosi to Canop to Adcock, double play. So Demeter's struggles continue, and here's Willie Horton. Horton hitting .298 on the season, 12 home runs, 30 RBIs, the 12 home runs among the league leaders, and all in just 104 at-bats. Lopez into the windup, 6'9", right-handed. That's going to be banged into left field for a base hit, triple to 3, and he settles for the long single. So the double play between 2 singles looming large in this inning. That'll get Dick McAuliffe to the plate. McAuliffe just 205, 5 homers though, 13 RBIs. Left on left, Lopez from the stretch. That's a 2-6 lefty, and just outside, ball 4. To second goes Horton, and it'll be up to Bill Freehan with the pitcher on deck. First and second, 2 away. Here's Freehan. Freehan on the season, just 206, 4 homers, 14 RBIs. Lopez checks the runners. Here's the pitch to Freehan. It's a 3-7, grounder to short. Fregosi goes the short way to second, and that'll do it. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. Again, the double play loomed large in that inning. Lopez bailed out by his defense there. And the Angels still lead it 4-0. Lopez, a 3, right-handed batter. The pitch from Aguirre now. 2-7, struck him out. 3rd strikeout for Aguirre, who seems to have settled in after the grand slam home run by Adcock. Top of the order, and Jose Cardinal. Cardinal singled and scored his first time. Aguirre staring in. Here's the windup on the pitch. It's going to be a 3-6 lefty. A ground ball to short, little slow roller. McAuliffe comes in on it, gloves it, throws to cash in time. And here's Fregosi, singled his first time. Deep breath from Aguirre, the windup and the pitch. 2-4 left-handed, lazy fly to right. Horton is there, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Aguirre. How about that? Two innings in the books, 4-0. Aguirre rated 7 for endurance. Switch hitter, batting right-handed against Lopez. 3-7, grounder to second. Routine for Canop as he flips it to Adcock for the out. I do too, Dan. I love a good pitcher's duel. Here's Don Wirt now as the lineup turns over. Lopez gets the sign. The wind-up is pitch is a 4-10 righty, shallow fly to center field. On comes Jose Cardinal to make the grab. 2 quick outs in the 3rd, and Jerry Lumpy will be the hitter. Lopez winds and deals. That's a 3-4 left-handed. Grounder to second base. Canop again, gloves it. Throws to Adcock, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Lopez. Oh boy, okay. Give me a moment to assess the situation here. Finally got some sleep. I did wake up super early again, but I went back to bed and decided I was just going to lay there until I went back to sleep, and eventually I did. Heart of the order for California now against Aguirre. Rick Reichart to start it off. He walked his first time up. Aguirre into the windup. Comes in there with a 4-4 righty. It's a hard smash to third base X. Word a good third baseman, 2E13. Here's the play on a 3. He makes a diving stop to his left, to his feet, throws him out. Oh my goodness, what a play by Don Wirt to rob Rick Reichart of a base hit. That's going to be a web gem. 5-3X exclamation. And here's Adcock, the man of the day so far with a grand salami. Adcock now with 5 home runs on the season. Aguirre into the windup. 1-6 struck him out. Fourth strikeout for Aguirre, and they've all been on the batter's cards. Here's Knopp. He struck out his first time up. Aguirre with the sign. Here's the pitch. It's a 3-10 left-handed. That's banged into left field. Base hit for Knopp. Double on a 1. Knopp rounds and holds with the 2-out single, and Jackie Warner will come to the plate. Warner pretty much all or nothing with a ton of strikeouts against left-handers especially. Aguirre staring in now from the stretch. That's going to be a 3-6. That's a high fly ball to center. Backing up is K-Line. He tracks it down in the gap for the out to retire the side. So on a 3-6 double to 2, Warner rolled the 20, and that'll do it for the Angels in the third. No runs, a hit, 1 left. I hear Mookie, but I don't see him. Oh, excellent, buddy. 1972. The Spinner game was All-Star Baseball, I believe. That was my first game. Bill is here, and Chet Knopp. Uh-oh, it's a foul out to the catcher. Hang on. We're going to have a replay review. Thank you, Bill. .310. What the hell was I looking at? A 110 probably. Knopp is a foul out to the catcher. So Warner will lead off the bottom of the 4th. Thank you. Appreciate the help. All right, let me get my bearings now. 4th inning. Heart of the order for the Tigers here in the 4th. Special thanks for getting that in there, Bill, before I started rolling for the top of the 4th. That made it very easy to fix. Okay, here's Norm Cash, line to second his first time up. Lopez gets his sign. Pitch to Cash is a 4-10 left-handed. Shallow fly to right field. On comes Jackie Warner. Just does catch up with it. And here's K-Line. K-Line singled his first time up. One of just 2 singles for Detroit so far. Lopez into the windup. 4-4 right-handed. Grounder to third base X. Tough chance for Shaw. Shaw a 3E25. Moving towards the line, he stabs it and throws him out. Nice play, Shaw. So Lopez getting some help from his defense so far today. Other than that, he's been pretty much in command, and with 2 out, here's Demeter. The pitch from Lopez. 1-7, grounder to short. Fregosi has it. Throws to Adcock, and the side is retired. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Marcelino Lopez. Less fighting, yeah. I can understand that, buddy. It's on the line, right? Okay, here's Jackie Warner to lead off the 4th. He struck out his first time against Aguirre. Aguirre gets his sign from Bill Freehan, and here's the pitch now. That's going to be a 4-6 righty, and Warner lines one into left for a base hit. Lead-off single for Jackie Warner. No threat to run. Batter will be Shaw. Shaw walked his first time up. That's his specialty, by the way. Shaw with 34 hits on the season, 31 walks. Aguirre from the stretch, 6-6 righty. That's going to be extra bases, almost certainly. Double to 16, 17. He settles for the long single. Warner to third. You know, as soon as I said extra bases, I knew I was going to roll a 17, 18, 19, or 20. As my stepdad used to say, that's what happens when your mouth overloads your ass. Okay, runners at the corners, it's Rogers. Activity now in the Detroit pen. And with a lot of righties in the lineup today, Fred Gladding, and he's joined by Bill Monbouquet, who's available out of the pen today. Shaw with a -4 battery, no threat to run. Against a left-hander, Rogers, quite a few ground ball A's. They're going to play for the double play. Infield is back. Rogers hitting right-handed. Aguirre with the 6-8, and he walks him to load the bases. Just when we thought Aguirre was settling down, he'll face Lopez. Bullpen almost ready. Infield back. The pitch to Lopez on a 3-6 struck him out. That's the first out of the inning. Cardinal up. Cardinal does not hit into many double plays. And as much as I don't like to do it with the bases loaded, Detroit really has no choice here but to pull the infield in. Aguirre on the ropes. Bases loaded, 1 out. Here's the pitch to Cardinal. It's a 6-10 right-handed. Grounder to first base B. With the infield in, they throw home and nail the lead man. That's going to go 3-2. We're going to call that a force. And the infield in saves a run. It'll be up to Fregosi. Fregosi 1 for 2. Aguirre checks the runners. Now the pitch to Fregosi on a 3-6 lefty. He walks him to force in a run. And here comes Swift, and that's going to do it for Aguirre. Shaw scores, giving RBI to Fregosi. Cardinal to second. Rogers to third, and Swift's bringing the hook. Kind of knew it was coming, didn't we? Three and 2/3 for Aguirre. 5 hits, 5 runs so far. 2, 3, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. A weird line for Aguirre. And with all the righties coming up, they're going to go to Fred Gladding. Did you seriously, Bill? Oh my God, that's funny. Bill bet his wife that Knopf won't hit 250. What did he actually hit on the card? Let's take a look. 232 in real life. Came into the game at 214. Here comes Gladding now. Gladding's been in 18 games. He's 3-2 with 1 save and a 3.86 ERA. Bases still loaded. Reichart due up. 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th. Score now 5-0. Gladding's ready to go to work. Here's the pitch to Reichart. 5-7, grounder to second base X. That's going to be lumpy. Lumpy a 4 E8. Here's the play. 10 E range. It's a 10 on an E8, and Lumpy makes a fine play and throws him out to retire the side. 4-3X, side retired. The Angels pick up another run on 2 hits, and they leave the bases loaded. After 4 innings of play here at the Big A, it's 5-0 Angels. Lopez rated 6 for endurance as we move along to the 5th inning. Willie Horton will start things off. Horton singled his first time up. Lopez gets his sign. Here's the pitch to Horton now. It's a 1-8 left-handed. Struck him out. That's the first strikeout for Lopez in the game. And here's McAuliffe, who walked his first time up. Left on left, Lopez delivers a 2-4. Fly to left field, playable. Reichart is there. Holy cow, that's now 8, no, it's 9 in a row retired by Lopez. And the batter will be Freehand. Lopez into the windup. It's a 6-3 righty. Fly to right field X, tough chance for Warner. Jackie a 4E5 ranging towards the line. On a 16, he makes a fine running catch. Just by the line, he makes the grab for the out. Nice play by Warner. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Marcelino Lopez. Here's Fred Gladding now. Adcock, Knopp, and Warner for the Angels. Gladding into the windup. The pitch to Adcock is a 3-11 right-handed. Deep fly ball to left field. Demeter back on the track. Makes the catch for the out. That was well struck by Adcock, but he got under it a bit. 1 out. Here is Knopp. Knopp 0 for 2 today as Gladding is set now. The pitch is a 3-7 righty. Fly to center, playable. K-line is right there, barely has to move and makes the catch. 2 down quickly, and here's Jackie Warner. Warner 1 for 2. Gladding into the windup. 5-7, grounder to second base X. Another chance for Lumpy. 4E8. Oops. 4E8, here's the play. On a 12, that's the E range again. The roll is a 7, and Lumpy has it and throws him out to retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Angels in the 5th. We're through 5 innings. It's 5-0. For Marcelino Lopez now, his first inning of potential fatigue. Man, I should have double switched with Gladding. Okay, pinch hitter. Let's see what else we got. Score 5-0. They're going to go to Monbouquet next. Gladding goes 1 1/3. We can close the book on Aguirre. Would have liked to have gotten more length out of Gladding. That's on me. Oh, nuts. Okay, hang on here. I knocked some of the cards off the desk. Looking for a righty. Looking for a righty. Jake Wood will be the pinch hitter. Wood 294, 10 for 34 on the year. Lopez into the windup. It's going to be a 1-5 lefty. That's banged into left field. Could be extra bases. Double to 9, and he's headed for second. The throw in. He's in there with a double. Pinch hit double for Jake Wood. And that's going to get him stirring in the Angels pen. Clyde Wright unavailable for this one. Give me a minute here while I just look over the usage on some of these guys. Mookie's right up here. Minnie Rojas throwing for the Angels in the pen. Wood with good speed on the bases. +1 battery, 16. They'll hold him at 14. Okay, Bill, thank you. You could have fooled me. I thought, well, maybe he did bet his wife. I'm sure it'd be low stakes, of course. All in good fun. And here's Don Wirt. Wirt 0 for 2. Lopez gets his side. And Victor Wirt is a 4-2 right-handed high fly ball to left field. Backing up his right card on the track puts it away. So Wirt gave it a ride. Lopez is showing signs of wobbling here in the 6th, and here's Jerry Lumpy. Lopez from the stretch. That's a 6-6 liner right into the glove of Bobby Knopp. So Marcelino's defense picks him up once again, and it will be up to Norm Cash. Lopez from the stretch. Pitch to Cash is a 5-8 lefty. Grounder to short B. That's Fregosi. Goes the short way to Knopp, and that'll do it. No. Ground ball B, sorry. 6-3 out. Runner was at second, not at first. Either way, the side is retired. No runs, a hit, one left. I guess I got to put my discards up there now, Mookie. I'm not going to make him move for that. I know we're not quite there yet, but in case he moves, you got to see this. That's where I put the cards that have been taken out of the game already, and of course the mouse for the secondary laptop with the stats is there. But he's not trying to interfere with the game. As long as he doesn't, he's quite welcome to stay right there. He's got a good seat. Here comes Monbouquet, the third Detroit pitcher of the afternoon. Monbouquet with an ugly card against lefties. However, there is not a single left-hander in the Angels lineup. Paul Shaw will start it off. Monbouquet ready to go to work. Here's the windup and the pitch to Shaw. It's a 1-6. High fly ball to left. Going back is Demeter. He makes the catch on the track. Homer on a 1. He rolled the 5, and it's allowed out. The cat is guarding the mouse. Exactly. Here's Rogers, 0 for 1 with a walk. Batting left-handed against Monbouquet. 4-8 he walks in. So I lied. There is a left-hander. He's a switch hitter. Lopez a 3. He's a B bunter. Detroit will pull it in. Squares to bunt is a C. On a 9C. Batter is safe. Leading runner is out. Thrown out by the pitcher. So Lopez bunted a little bit too hard. Monbouquet fired it down to Lumpy for the force. And that will erase Rogers. 2 down, and here's Cardinal. Cardinal 1 for 3 today. The pitch to Monbouquet is a 1-5 right-handed. He struck him out. So a solid inning from Monbouquet. Another Angel strikeout on the batter's card. Look at that now. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts, all of them on the batter's card. No runs, no hits, 1 left. Through 6 innings, it's still 5-0. Detroit has been completely stymied today by Marcelino Lopez. I'm a little surprised. They do seem to have a little more difficulty with lefties, but on the other hand, they came into the game hitting .251 as a team with 57 home runs. Which, if I had to guess, I would say that leads the American League. Let's take a look. I'm going to pull up the grand totals display. No, I'd be wrong. That's only good for third. The Orioles lead with 59, the Indians have 58, and the Tigers with 57. It's still close. They're all three bunched up near the top there. Here's Lopez now in his second endurance inning, facing Kaline, Demeter, and Horton. Kaline's 1 for 2. Lopez with the pitch. That's going to be a 3-11 left-handed grounder down to first base. Adcock will take it to the bag. And there's one down. Here's Demeter. Demeter is 0 for 2. Grounded to short both times today. I probably bumped it with my leg, Bob. Lopez with the windup in the pitch. It's a 6-8 righty. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. That'll bring up Horton with 2 down. Singleton struck out in this one. Lopez with the pitch, 6-9. That's going to be a base hit into left, possible triple to 3, and Horton will hold with the long single. That'll get McAuliffe to bat. McAuliffe 0 for 1 with a walk. Lopez working from the stretch now. That's going to be a 3-7 lefty, and he walks him. One more hit or walk will fatigue Lopez now, and the batter will be Bill Freeham. Minnie Rojas is ready in the pen. Bob Lee takes the jacket off and begins to throw. Lopez staring in. There's the pitch to Freeham on a 4-8 righty. Base hit center field. That's an open single. Horton 13-15. Cardinal minus 213. There are 2 outs. On the other hand, they trail by 5, so they're going to hold him up. The bases will be loaded with 2 out. Pinch hitter for the Tigers, but with Lopez fatigued, Swift is wisely going to let Rigney make the first move. So Rigney out to the mound. Lopez is done. He ran out of gas in the 7th. Fine game for Lopez. He technically still has a shutout. Very rarely do I take out a pitcher pitching a shutout, but fatigued with the bases loaded, you have to. Six and 2/3. Just 5 hits today off of Lopez. No runs yet. 2 walks. 2 strikeouts. And in comes Minnie Rojas. And now, Swift can announce his pinch hitter. It's either going to be Northrup or Brown. I'm going to get you guys involved. Who do you want, Ben? Northrup or Brown? Or really anybody can chime in, but I know Ben's for Detroit. Buddy wants Northrup. In retrospect, Texas, I kind of agree with you. But I'm not going to take it back now. It's already been announced. And Jim Northrup will be the batter. Bases loaded, 2 down, 5-0 Angels. Detroit threatening. Rojas stares in to get his sign. The pitch to Northrup, 3-6 righty. Grounder to second. It's Knopp to Adcock, and that'll do it. And the Tigers leave the bases loaded in the 7th. No runs, 2 hits. We stretch for the 7th. We'll get a little bonus shot of Mookie, who has not moved. I am going to top off my coffee. Let's see who we're going to use for the Tigers to pitch now. Again, all right-handers. Pretty much has to be Orlando Pena at this point. One walk, 1 strikeout for Monbouquet. Buddy, also a Tiger fan. I can tell you Detroit started off the season very nicely, and they've scuffled a bit of late. And it's time for the Mookie cam. Yeah, he hasn't moved, but that's okay. I'll back up a little bit and we'll get the full... Here, let's move the chair. We'll get the full effect here. Mookie! Mookie! What are you doing, Mook? He looks a little confused, doesn't he? Well, you can tell he's matured at 1 year of age. Previously, if he was sitting there, he would have by now tried to get up on the table and play with the pens or the cards or the dice or something. And he's just lying there watching the action. That's what he's doing, Dan. Yeah, he's studying the fielding chart. Who? Mookie, Ben? Mookie's going to roll tomorrow's game. He's in training in case I can't make it. That's right, we got a backup plan now. All Angels so far. We go back to the game, bottom of the 7th. Orlando Pena has come on for Detroit. Fregosi will start it off. He's 1 for 2 with the walk. Pena gets the sign from Fremont. Here's the pitch to Fregosi. It's a 4-8 righty. Fly to straightaway center. K-line is there. And there's 1 down. That'll bring up Reichard, who's 0 for 2 with the walk. Pena with the windup. Here's the pitch. It's a 5-9 righty. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Two down, and the batter will be Joe Adcock. Adcock with the big blow in this game. A grand slam way back in the 1st. He's 1 for 3 today. Pena into the windup. 3-6 righty. That's banged into left center for extra bases. Running it down is K-line. That's going to be a double. 3-6 to 8. Rolls the 13, and Adcock pulls up with the stand-up double. So big day for Adcock, and here's Knopf. Knopf 0 for 3. Pena into the windup. 5-4 right-handed. Catcher's card X. That's freehand, the Gold Glover, a 1E2. On an 11, the E-range. It's a 12 on a 2. This could be trouble. Nope, a little grounder in front of the plate. Freehand on it like a cat. Fires down to first for the out to retire the side. 2-3-X. Side retired. We're through 7 in a 5-0 game. They say animals are very routine-oriented. You think he would know by now that at this time of the day, I do this every day. He certainly knows when it's time for his treats, I can tell you that. Okay, we're going to the 8th. Top of the order for Detroit. Don Wirt to start it off. Wirt 0 for 3 today. Minnie Rojas into the windup. 6-4 right-handed. Hot smash to third. Shaw over to Adcock. 1 down. That'll bring up Lumpy. Lumpy 0 for 3. Rojas gets his sign from Rogers. Here's the pitch to Lumpy on a 6-6 lefty. High fly ball to right field. Backing up is Warner, just shy of the track to make the catch. And Norm Cash will be the hitter with 2 down. Norm 0 for 3 today. Rojas comes in there with a 1-5 righty. Grounder to first. Adcock to his right. Underhands to Rojas covering, and that'll do it. Bob Lee has sat down in the Angel pen. Apparently they're just going to stick with Rojas. And why not? Pena will come out for his second inning for the Tigers. Jackie Warner will lead it off in the bottom of the 8th. 1 for 3 today. Here comes the pitch from Pena. It's going to be a 1-7 righty. Single to 6, grounder into the hole at short, and that's through into left field for a single. Jackie Warner with his second hit. And we haven't seen Warner in a while until today. Here's Paul Shaw now, 1 for 2 with the walk. Pena working from the stretch. 6-10 right-handed. It's a fly to center field X. That's K-line. K-line a 2E3. Ranging to his right on a 4. And oh my goodness, what a fine running catch by K-line in the gap to rob Shaw of extra bases. That's a web jam. What a play by K-line. It would be much more dramatic if the score was closer, but still a fine play nonetheless. And here's Rogers. Rogers 0 for 1, walked twice, batting left-handed. Pena from the stretch, 2-7 righty. That's going to be a fly to center. K-line barely has to move for this one. 2 down, and he puts it away. Rojas is going to bat. He's a 1. So we need a new hitter's card. Minnie Rojas is a right-handed hitter, 1W. The pitch is a 1-8, and he strikes out. And with that, we go to the 9th. 5-0 Angels. I want to thank everybody for watching today. Appreciate it. Let me check in on the chat here real quick before we go to the ninth. Yeah, that's right, Dan. Yeah, they gave it a shot there. Sometimes it's just not your day. Boy, I played 4 league games this morning against a team that came in 13-25, I want to say, something like that. I got swept 4 games. I'm telling you what, it was another case of every possible roll and split. And, you know, after the second game, the frustration subsided and it turned into acceptance as I just shrugged my shoulders and said to myself, some days are just like that. I knew that team was going to come back to earth anyway, but I didn't think they would against that opponent. You never know. Last chance for the Tigers here against Mini Rojas. Kaline, Demeter, and Horton do. Yeah, right, Ben? Kaline 1 for 3. Rojas into the windup. 2-3 righty base hit up the middle. Leadoff single for Kaline. Let's check Rojas now. He's worked 1 1/3. He's rated 3 for relief endurance. And the batter will be Don Demeter. Demeter 0 for 3 today. Rojas working from the stretch. It's a 5-4 catcher's card X. That's Rogers. Rogers also a good catcher. 2E3. We've got an 11. That's the E range. It's a 12 on an E3, and he can't make the play. He drops it. That's going to be an error on Rogers. Holy cow, an E3. That'll go as E2. And there's still a little bit of life in Detroit as Willie Horton comes to bat. And Bob Lee gets back up to the Angel pen. Rogers with a little mound visit, calming Rojas down. Willie Horton will be the batter with Dick McAuliffe on deck. Horton's 2 for 3 in this one and has 12 home runs on the season. Okay, they're ready to go. Rojas gets his sign. Pitch to Horton on a 1-7. He struck him out. Here's McAuliffe. He's walked twice and flown to left field. Rojas staring in. The pitch to McAuliffe on a 5-8 lefty. Second base X. That could do it. This could be 2. Canapa 1E17. On a 13. That's Canop to Fregosi to Adcock, and that's the game. Fine play by Bobby Canop to end it. It was all California today, 5-0. Texas, I feel bad about. I kind of think you were right. I feel bad about that. I don't feel that bad, don't get me wrong. But yeah, if I had to go back, I'd have let him pitch to Northrop. And then if he got hit, I'd take him out. Okay, we're going to have the totals here in a moment. I have to agree, Franklin, with a grand slam homer and a double. Joe Adcock is your player of the game. Rojas gave up 1 hit. No walks and a strikeout. No save for Rojas. Lopez gets the win. He improves to 3-5. Aguirre, saddled with the loss, drops to 2-3 on the season. And Pena, in his 2 innings, gave up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. With the 6 2/3 score. I'll tell you what, Texas will split it. How about that? Co-players of the game, Adcock and Lopez. And honestly, I tend to favor the pitchers when it comes to picking the player of the game, normally. But yeah, I give him the benefit of the doubt because I should have left him in. He should have at least had a chance to go for the shutout. Honestly, to backtrack, my thinking at the time was Detroit, they had a lot of power on the bench. So you're looking at a situation where it could suddenly be a 5-4 game. Angels with 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors. Detroit, no runs, 6 hits, no errors. Co-players of the game, Lopez and Adcock, excuse me. Let's take a look at tomorrow's game. If I can get around Mookie and get to the mouse. Washington Senators at Chicago White Sox. Hey, there's Mike Terranova. How's it going, Mike? A carton of Winston's. Smoke up, Johnny. It was a banner year at the old Bender house. Washington Senators at Chicago White Sox tomorrow. It'll be Mike McCormick and Jack LeMahieu gets the start for Chicago. Thanks once again, everybody, for hanging out with me. See you tomorrow, 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern. In the meantime, everybody have a great evening. That's right, man. Take care. Bye for now.